everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I didn't hear Craig.
He said it. He said his catchphrase.
I didn't hear it.
Is he popped up on your screen?
Yeah, he's there. I just didn't hear his now recording. He scared me a little bit. He scared me by not saying it.
It scares you when he says it. It scares you when he doesn't say it.
He's just a scary guy.
All right, we don't have to bully Craig.
So Frankie, where did we eat last night?
I honestly couldn't tell you the name of the place. I don't
Alta Via.
remember.
Alta
Via. All right.
And how was it? Who was there with us?
Why am I telling the story? Why am I narrating? Why are you asking me questions?
I'm gonna narrate
it's a pop quiz.
Who was there with us, Frankie?
Your friend.
What was her name?
Carrie.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, my friend Carrie came in from Boston for the weekend, so we went out to eat. We had a jam-packed day yesterday. We woke up in the morning, went to the strip district, and then we went and made paperweights at the Pittsburgh Glass Center, which was really cool. Frankie thought I actually touched
molten glass. Well, that's what I was told. I was lied to. I was deceived.
I would not put it past Amanda to have touched it.
That's why it wasn't hard to picture happening.
I will do stupid stuff, but I'm not gonna do stupid stuff that will actually hurt me. If I touched that molten glass, I would have no hands. My hands would be third-degree burns, and they'd be gone.
We would be getting the yearly "Guess Where I Am" text.
Yeah, exactly. So after the Glass Center, we went to Randyland, because Carrie's never been. Which Randyland is I find it to be a treat. After Randyland, we went to like an oddity and curiosity shop and lounge. I forget what the name of it was, but it was really cool. The lounge was really cool. Doctor something. It was like right in Mount Washington and like that Allentown area. Very, very cool. Near Alla Famiglia. After that, we went to Oakmont Bakery to get a snack. Oh, sorry, no, we didn't do that. We went to Mix Candle Co. and made a perfume and our own scented candle. My candle is a mix of the smell Earl Grey, verbena and verbena and Earl Grey, verbena, and what else? What else did I put in there?
Jesus. Man, it's almost like this happened yesterday.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
Yeah, it actually smells really good. It smells like a cocktail that you would get like at a bar. So, and Carrie's was like banana bread, ginger root, and chai tea. So that was really fun. And then we made perfumes. Mine is cherry blossom mixed with strawberry milkshake scent. And I named it Velvet Sakura milk or something. No, Velvet Sakura cream. That's what I named it. I think it sounds really good. Then we went to Oakmont Bakery, and we missed it by 13 minutes because they closed early because it was the day before Easter. So I was real bummed out about that. So we ate some tacos instead. Then we went home and rested for a bit because we'd just been going all day. And then we went to eat and saw Frankie.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, it was quite fun. Frankie relayed many sleepwalking stories to Carrie.
Bet she somehow didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
Would have known them. I thought you would have told them.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear more about them, there's an episode for that.
Uh-huh.
So if you haven't listened to the sleepwalking episode,
that's an old one. You gotta scroll back pretty far.
I've been told by Jen that is her favorite episode.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why?
She said it's the funniest, I think.
Hmm.
I mean, it is funny. All of the stories are fucking hilarious.
I know. Carrie was unaware of Otis, the frog. So.
Or the Goo Wars.
That one is impressive that she didn't know.
What side of the Goo Wars is Carrie on?
I don't think we asked.
We did not ask.
We didn't ask the important questions, Hannah. I'm sorry.
What side is Jen on?
I don't think I've ever asked Jen.
Call her.
I'll text her. I'll text her right now, and when I get a response, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Good.
Carrie told me, and she said, "I love you, Amanda, but you're not this creative when you're awake. This only happens when you're sleepwalking."
Ouch.
No, like, I think she means it as, like, this is so ridiculous, you couldn't have come up with it.
I mean, you did, but
Yeah.
subconsciously.
But not I don't think she could like purposely come up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
I
it was
agree
like-
with. I don't think anyone could purposely come up with that.
No, that would be really hard. I feel like I had an answer for everything.
You did.
And
And a new insult directed my way.
which was
What was it like? You should know these things. Aren't you supposed to be a lawyer?
oh yeah.
Was the
a
big
great
one?
Yeah. That was pretty good. So that it was a very nice weekend. I needed that as my boyfriend is now in California. So I'm kind of mourning his loss right now.
Alive in California, just for an update for everyone. Not dead in California.
Yeah. No, he's a good job there.
Yeah.
So anyway. Hannah, Frankie, how were your weekends?
Fine. I mean, most of my weekend was what you just described. So
It wasn't. You weren't there.
I don't really
For most
do
of it.
much. I don't do much. I didn't do much during the day. I don't do much exciting. I played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 today. That's it. That's how I celebrated the day.
I've been playing the Pokepedia game.
Okopia?
Yeah, Pokepedia.
Oh, I want to play that so bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I've never played a regular Pokemon game. It's
I
not
know,
a
this is
regular
absurd.
Pokemon game.
This is absolutely absurd.
It's Animal Crossing, but with Pokemon,
You
basically.
would love yourself some Pokemon.
I'm sure I would, but again, I tell you this, I'm afraid that I'm gonna get too into it, and like, eventually I'm gonna get so into it that I'm like, I'm not gonna go to work, and eventually that would lead to me just not having a job anymore.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
All right, Hannah, your weekend?
I mean, I just kind of cleaned all weekend. Did some spring cleaning.
Oh.
I had a boring weekend.
Party time at Hannah's.
Yeah. Hey, all my floors are freshly mopped.
To be fair, I also did some spring cleaning a couple weekends ago. So,
Oh, Hannah,
I mean,
what
had
are
you asked me like 2 weeks ago, I would have been just saying recovering from a mythic crash out.
Yeah, you're doing much better right now.
I'm not manic.
You weren't manic before.
I
You were just really, really crashing out.
I feel like manic is a good descriptor though.
You were manic as a good descriptor. You were not manic in the sense that
Not
diagnostic wise.
Yeah, no.
Anyway. So, what the hell are we talking about? It's been so long since we've recorded.
It has been too long. I even told
remember.
Frankie before we started recording that I forgot what my notes were on because I haven't looked at them in weeks.
Ah,
I remembered what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Wow.
Frankie saved the day here.
Is it Houdini?
It is.
Yeah, Amanda, look at you. Look at us. Look at us, Amanda.
This episode has been in the works for ages. I am finally going to tell you all the story of Harry Houdini and Arthur
before you
Conan
do,
Doyle's beef.
All right, this is breaking news. We have breaking news
Okay.
on the podcast. Jen is on the side of lotion.
Oh,
in the Goo Wars.
as am I.
I'm still all by myself over here with Team Lipstick.
This has been a breaking news update. Now back to your normal programming.
Back to you.
Back to 100-year-old beef. Yeah, so Harry Houdini and Arthur Conan Doyle had some issues. Their relationship wasn't sunshine and rainbows because of spiritualism. But before I can tell you the story of these two men, I do have to speedrun a class on 20th century spiritualism.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay.
Britannica defines spiritualism, specifically spiritualism as a religion, as a movement beginning in the 19th century in America and Europe, based on the belief that departed souls can interact with the living. Spiritualists sought to make contact with the dead, usually through the assistance of a medium, a person believed to have the ability to contact spirits directly. Some mediums worked while in a trance-like state, and some claimed to be the catalyst for various paranormal physical phenomenon, including the materializing and or moving of objects, through which the spirits announce their presence. While big in the 19th and 20th centuries, spiritualism can be traced all the way back to the Bible, but we are only focusing on the 20th century revival today. Traditionally, you will see rises in spiritualism occur after major tragic events such as wars and epidemics. In America specifically, there was a huge rise in spiritualism following the Civil War. This is where you see Victorian spirit photography, parlor entertainment, i.e., seances, telepathy, and items like the spirit cabinets and other ways, i.e., tricks and illusions used to contact the dead. And during this time, you also see the rise of many fake mediums. The most notable of these frauds, and also kind of the first famous fake mediums, were the Fox sisters. And they're a very interesting rabbit hole to fall down if you want to do something after listening to this episode. Anyway, spiritualism died off in the decades following the Civil War, and then you had World War I and the Spanish flu pandemic. Everyone lost someone, and people wanted the chance to speak with their lost loved ones one final time. This is where Arthur Conan Doyle and Harry Houdini come in. So Harry Houdini, we'll start with him. This man fucking hated spiritualism. He was on a quest to disprove and expose every fraud medium out there and expose their tactics to the masses. He legitimately would go on stage detailing what exactly fraud mediums were doing during seances and then showing off like the smoke and mirror show. He also published a book in 1924 titled A Magician Among the Spirits, and that's where he exposed so many popular tricks of the time.
Didn't he like hate these people because like his mom died and he was
Yes.
tricked?
Yes. I think deep down he really wanted to believe in spiritualism just on like the notion of like properly saying goodbye to a loved one who had passed that like he may have not have had the chance to. Like just like that idea. In his youth, Harry Houdini lost both his father and brother in quick succession. And that was the first time he discovered or learned, I should say, that there's a lot of fake mediums out there. 9 times out of 10, it's a fake. But this man had such a strong hatred for the spiritualism movement and fraud mediums specifically. He had his own team of undercover investigators that he referred to as his secret service to go out and find mediums who were like pulling the wool over people's eyes.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. I'm on Houdini's side with this fully.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people are just taking advantage of
Yeah.
people who have lost their families.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah, no,
give
these
me
people are
$10.
assholes.
Give me $10 and I'll just say what you want to hear, pretty much.
I'll say that for any psychic. That includes pet psychics. Really, any psychic. If you don't have the gift, don't use it. But there are people out there, I think, that also delude themselves into thinking that they have a gift when they don't either. Just know when to give it up, you know?
Stop being a grifter, basically.
Correct.
The most famous of Houdini's investigators is a woman named Rose Mackenberg, also known as the Spook Spy. I'm not going to talk about her tonight. I just want to, highlight her name and recommend another interesting rabbit hole to fall down. In my sources below, I have 2 episodes of the podcast, and that's why we drink listed. One of them is all about Rose Mackenberg, and goes more into detail about Houdini's hatred of spiritualism. Really recommend listening to it. I don't know how much more I can go on about how much Houdini hated spiritualism. Um, but you should all know that his hatred of spiritualism is included in The Impossible Man, a musical about Houdini, which is aiming for a Broadway bow in October of 2026 for the 100th anniversary of his death. That's the first of our main characters tonight. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, is our other main player. And if Houdini hated spiritualism, that must mean that Conan Doyle fucking loved it. We've already established on the show that Arthur Conan Doyle was a huge believer in the spiritualism movement. You can listen to our episode on the Cottingley fairies for all that backstory.
Yeah, fucking idiot thought fairies were real. But with the worst pictures imaginable.
With literal puppets. Literal cutout images of
I
fairies.
still remember when you sent those pictures to me and Amanda on the episode, and we saw them for the first
It's
time.
literally paper. They're
Looks like a
pretty
serial-
images.
Looks
But
like a
they're
serial
so
killer
fake.
made a note cutting out images from a magazine. Fucking dummy. This man wrote books. Anyone can be a writer now.
This man wrote Sherlock Holmes, the most well-known literary detective.
The guy who's known for being like hyper intelligent,
Yeah.
and no one can fool him.
His creator was fooled by images of fairies.
Idiot.
By the time of Arthur Conan Doyle's death in 1930, he was the world's best known and most outspoken proponent of spiritualism. He spent 14 years, the 14 years I think leading up to his death, trying to prove that spiritualism was legit, that spirits were real, and ghosts could speak to the living. His ultimate goal was to get spiritualism to be an officially recognized religion and the official religion of the British Empire. And why did he want to prove that spirits existed, that they could communicate with the living? Because his eldest son Kingsley was killed in World War I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. This is like a grief thing.
Mhm. He already believed in spiritualism before his son died, but I think Kingsley's death was definitely the catalyst for like what he became.
Yeah. Yeah, that
And
sucks.
yeah, Amanda said, you can't fault him for just wanting to speak with his son one more time.
No.
It's never the person who believes it. It's usually not the person who believes in it fault. It's the person pretending that they're a psychic
Mm,
and saying, "Oh yeah, obviously I can communicate with your dead relative that you desperately want to speak to."
right.
Arthur Conan Doyle published papers and toured all over Europe giving lectures on the movement. He was a member of multiple societies of occult practitioners as well as occult research groups. And he believed wholeheartedly in those who claimed to have the ability to speak with the dead. He also believed that there were those out there with true magic abilities that they kept secret from the public. And one of the people he believed could perform magic, true magic, Harry Houdini. And this is where our story begins. It's the 1920s. Houdini and Arthur Conan Doyle begin exchanging letters, and they realize fairly early on that they have a mutual interest in spiritualism. The friendship quickly falls apart once they finally get to meet in person, though. I do want to quote Chris Gosden, who wrote an article for Literary Hub, and I have the full article in my sources down below as well. There were ironies in their relationship from the start. The creator of Sherlock Holmes, the most rational and empirical detective, was convinced by many spiritual phenomenon, while the greatest illusionist of the age was determined to demonstrate that spiritualism was trickery. It's these differences that quickly destroyed the friendship. I mean, Arthur Conan Doyle believed that Houdini could practice real magic. And I have to imagine that upon meeting, there was a little conversation that kind of went like the following, with Arthur Conan Doyle just, telling Houdini, hey, listen, man, I can keep a secret. We're friends, we're besties. Just show me the real magic. To which I imagine Harry Houdini has to reply with, no, magic's not real. And Arthur Conan Doyle not believing his friend. And do you remember me telling you guys about Houdini's book, A Magician Among Men? How it exposed fake mediums and their tricks?
Yeah, I remember that whole thing. Whole
Yeah,
book. I want to read that one day, actually.
put it on your wish list. Well, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a rebuttal to it.
I love literary beef.
He wrote and published a 2-volume work in 1926, all
That's a
about
little.
the history.
It's a little much. 2 volumes.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
titled The History of Spiritualism. This tome was simply an argument for the validity of spiritualism.
Fuck.
I mean, the title says what it is.
Yeah, you know what you're getting. It's basically just Arthur Conan Doyle yelling about how spirits are real,
Fuck.
and he ignored Houdini disproving of everything. Everything I've told you up until now, it's just been some differing viewpoints and beliefs. Sure, these two men have a difference of opinion, but I don't know if they're enough to cut ties between friends. I mean, my conversation I gave you guys was purely hypothetical. Arthur Conan Doyle and his wife Jean hosted a seance, invited Houdini and his wife Bess, and pretended to contact Houdini's recently deceased mother.
Ah, all right, okay. Well,
Ooh.
Arthur, I was feeling for you, buddy. I was feeling for you until now.
Oh my god.
You've crossed the line.
Yeah,
He's a dick.
yeah.
Listen, I get that you have a level of grief that I do not understand and hope that I will never understand. But also, you cannot at all do that to somebody else.
That's cruel. And
That's
like
terrible.
he knew it was fake too.
Let me tell you the story. So, Jean Doyle believed she had psychic powers, and her husband just gassed her up. Her preferred method of showcasing her powers was through automatic writing, one of the easiest things to fake. It's 1922 when this seance goes down. The Doyles are in the US. They invite Houdini and Bess over for dinner and a seance. Harry Houdini was a mama's boy. And I don't say that in like a derogatory way. Like he was extremely close to her and he was taking her recent death extremely hard. It wrecked him. So at the seance, Jean falls into her trance and begins frantically writing and ends up writing a 15-page letter for Houdini from his mother. This letter is said to have contained vague pleasantries a mother would give. It gives brief descriptions of the afterlife, and it ended with a paragraph on how lucky Houdini was to have a friend like Arthur Conan Doyle. This letter did also include some passages of things Houdini's mother said to him before she died. But the only reason these passages were in this letter was because Jean and Bess had a lengthy conversation not too long before the seance about Houdini's mother. Houdini, he gets up from his seat. He takes the letter, he thanks the Doyles for hosting him and Bess, and they leave.
I wouldn't have thanked him.
The man is in shock. I am going to go on a limb and say he's in shock. Now, Houdini had stated many times in the past that he was open to changing his mind about spiritualism if someone gave him concrete proof that it was real. Spoiler alert, that never happened. Well, a few days after the seance, Arthur Conan Doyle begins going around telling newspapers that he convinced the staunchest of skeptics that spiritualism was real. That he personally made Harry Houdini a spiritualist believer. Well, Houdini calls him out publicly and calls him a liar. Says, no, I never believed you. You never believed the seance or letter for one moment. Apparently, Houdini said that he was not going to cause a scene in front of, like, he's just like, I'm not going to cause a scene at the seance. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm just going to leave. Even though Arthur Conan Doyle and his wife royally fucked up.
Yeah.
But Doyle's the one who went to the press, so now the gloves are off. There are two main reasons Houdini gives to prove the letter was fake. Firstly, his mother did not speak a word of English. She only spoke German and Yiddish. The letter was written fully in English. Perfect literary English, as it had been described. And second of all, Houdini is from a Jewish family. His father was a rabbi, his mother was staunchly Jewish as well. And during the seance, Jean Doyle kept doing the sign of the cross while she was in her trance. The friendship between Harry Houdini and Arthur Conan Doyle, very obviously done. They're now sworn enemies. I can't blame Houdini for a moment.
Why the fuck would he think that was a good idea?
I can't even begin to think why. Like, there's no way in the world that's okay.
No. It's evil.
So this was a very sad and depressing story, and I'm really sorry for bringing it up. I thought this was going to be a fun, wild story, like, when I first mentioned it, I don't know, like 2 years ago at this point. I was really wrong.
Yeah, instead, you just made me not want to read any Arthur Conan Doyle stories.
Well, good, because I hate Sherlock Holmes.
All right, well, he's not real. Not real. Fake.
But,
Fictional character, Amanda.
But now I really don't care to watch any of them. Because this guy's a fucking asshat.
Believing in fairies, I can forgive.
Yeah.
No.
The fairies thing is like, yeah, you're an idiot, but like, it's fine, whatever. You're not hurting anybody.
Correct.
This is malicious and evil.
Mm-hmm.
To end on a lighter note, I did write down some weird and wild things Conan Doyle did throughout his life. We can make fun of him some more.
All right, let's go bully. Let's all bully a dead guy. Let's go. Come on.
Yep.
As we've mentioned so many times, his most prolific work is Sherlock Holmes. Well, 4 years after creating Holmes, Doyle grew resentful of his literary hero's fame. Arthur Conan Doyle even said that Sherlock Holmes stories were cheap detective stories and he wanted to write something grander. So he killed off his famed detective out of jealousy.
He was jealous?
Yeah.
Of a fake character.
That he created.
I really hate this man. Like, truly.
Until 1903 when Holmes's death was retconned.
Yeah, of course it was. He needs money.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too hard leaning on him then, huh? Piece of shit.
Oh, here's something good he did.
Actually, when he needs money to spend on all his fucking evil,
yeah,
he can bring back our boy Sherlock.
Here's something good Arthur Conan Doyle did. He managed to get a man out of jail. There was a man who was wrongfully convicted of mutilating livestock, and Arthur Conan Doyle investigated. He found inconsistencies in the evidence and proved that George did nothing wrong, George being the man who was in jail.
Why was he investigating?
I don't know.
Because he wanted to be Sherlock
It turns
Holmes.
out
That's why he was jealous.
Turns out the animal mutilation was caused by wild dogs. So he
I'm
did one
sorry.
good thing.
I'm sorry. Listen, we all know I'm very, very anti-policing.
Mm-hmm.
But were they that bad back then that they were like, man, look at those teeth marks. Must have been a human. Must have
Well,
been a
the
dude.
man in jail was in jail because of racism. So yes.
Oh, wow. So nothing's changed. Good to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was an ally at least once in his life.
Wonderful.
Oh, this
Doesn't
one's
mean
for you, Amanda.
Oh, fun
Huh?
fact for Amanda. Amanda, fun fact. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Arthur Conan Doyle was on the same cricket team as the author of Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie.
And I hope J.M. Barrie hated him.
J.M. Barrie hit him with a cricket bat. What are they
Yeah.
called? A wicket? Are they called wickets? A cricket wicket?
No,
That
I
feels
think
right.
it might be. I thought wickets were the thing that you tried to get like the ball through in like croquet.
What is the bat? It's just gonna be called a bat, isn't it? It's just a cricket bat.
Is it?
Yeah, or sometimes it's called a willow because
Okay.
it's made of willow,
Never would have guessed Willow.
No, I wouldn't have either.
but it's just called a bat, really. Well,
Okay, these next two are good ones to make fun of him for.
all right.
Arthur Conan Doyle may have been the perpetrator behind the Piltdown Man hoax of 1912, which is a counterfeit hominid fossil. Some claim that he left clues about his involvement in his book, The Lost World.
She's just a bad archaeologist, like a fake archaeologist. Shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot of those now.
We do.
Mhm.
I follow a guy on TikTok who debunks a lot of them, and on YouTube now for his longer form videos. Very good content.
This is just upsetting me, Frankie.
Finally,
This is
a
the final
seance.
fact. Final fact.
Here's the
Final
final
fact.
one. Yeah. A seance was organized for him to make an appearance from beyond the grave. Following his death, a seance was conducted at the Royal Albert Hall, where thousands attended, including his wife and children. A row of chairs were arranged on the stage for his family, with only one left empty for Arthur Conan Doyle's spirit. Even though he did not appear, there were many people in the audience who claimed they felt his presence among them.
Oh. Yeah, I also feel presence sometimes. Sometimes I think there's something crawling on me and there's not. Oh.
Could just be your cats.
I was talking about when I was away from them, like a bug or something. You never had the feeling that like a bug's crawling on you and it's not?
Yeah, like if you see a bug in your room, but you don't kill it, and then you're like, and later in the night, you're like, I feel a bug on me. It's not there, but you know there
Yeah.
was one in there beforehand.
Right. So now it's in your head.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I understand that. Listen, first of all, they left an empty chair, just like chilling. Stupid. Are you gonna take a seat?
I think
Man,
that's what they were hoping for.
it would have been amazing if was Houdini dead at this point.
Yeah, Houdini died in 26, while Conan Doyle died in 1930.
Fuck, it would have been great if he wasn't dead and he showed up and just like started making fun of everybody.
That would have, yeah.
It would have been such good vindication for him. But no, he was dead for 4 years.
Boo! God, that's sad. What a depressing tale.
Mm-hmm.
Depressing history story told by Hannah tonight.
Yeah.
Why do my notes say talk about Gerald?
Who's Gerald? Now
Oh,
I'm in-
Gerald the dolphin!
No.
Did Arthur Conan Doyle hurt a dolphin?
No. Nope.
No,
I'm
this was a news story from like last month.
Oh, there's
done.
a news story about Gerald the I don't know about Gerald the dolphin. I know about Punch the monkey.
I'm done. I'm done.
No, you can't be done.
I'm done.
A Florida man allegedly kidnapped by a dolphin named Gerald to build an underwater story or city.
No.
Yeah, it was a satire piece. And
Thought it was
people
debunked.
took it and like made it go viral on TikTok.
I didn't
Done.
know about this. Man,
Yeah.
you can't just declare that you're done.
Watch. I'm done.
All right, well,
She didn't leave. Yeah, but
yeah.
Gerald the Dolphin's not real. It was a satirical article written for a satire website, and then TikTok went crazy with memes. And that's why I have talk about Gerald on there.
It's very timely now.
We're 2 months late.
Wow, what an episode.
I'm
I still
sorry. I depressed everyone today.
it's
Yeah,
just
this guy was just a dick.
it's just like, look, if you want to believe this stuff,
Fine. That's fine.
I think I think they're obviously wrong. I don't think any of this is real.
Right, but if you want to, fine.
If you want to believe this stuff and it helps you with your grief, to think that there is a way to communicate, fine. More power to you. Whatever's going to help you heal. But to take advantage of other people going through pain,
You're an asshole.
from like the actual psychics that doing it to Arthur Conan Doyle and his wife arranging to do this to someone who they were friends, right?
Yeah, they were friends. That's why they were going to have dinner together.
Like, not even to do it to an enemy. I wouldn't even do that to someone I hated. But to do it to a friend?
Yeah, no, it's fucked up.
It's disgusting. Genuinely one of the worst things I think I've heard. We've talked
On
about
this
a lot of
podcast.
horrible people on this show.
Yeah, you remember the people, like the guy who like took a picture of his dead best friend? I would put Arthur
Who's
Conan
that?
Doyle. That was the death metal thing where you had your
Oh,
thing
yeah,
issues.
yeah.
I would put Arthur Conan Doyle and what he did up there with taking a picture of your dead friend.
Remember
Like,
the guy who allegedly ate a baby?
yeah, him too. Actually, I honestly, I don't want to say that it's not as bad, but I was more disgusted by that. This makes me angry. Like,
Here's the
I'm
thing.
pissed
The
off.
baby eating probably didn't happen.
Yeah.
Where this definitely did.
Right.
He's proud of it.
Yeah.
He's happy that he did this.
Such an asshat.
It is gross.
That really grinds my gears.
It is so terrible.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm gonna go now.
You can't go. You cannot go. That's not allowed. Incorrect.
I just reported on this story. I thought it was a fun story. I apparently got it wrong. I thought it was funny from when I heard it like 5+ years ago.
Story.
No. Let me rephrase. I thought the story was vastly different than what it was. I thought it was like funny, haha. They're fighting. Not, oh no, Arthur Conan Doyle just did something that's psychopathic.
Beyond psychopathic. This guy should fucking. I hate him.
Yeah. It's one of the worst things I think you could ever do to somebody.
It's just it's mean and cruel and fuck him.
If someone invites you to a seance and they fake a message from your dead relative, you are legally allowed to beat them up.
He knew it was a seance, or was ambushed with that fact too, right?
No, he knew. I think it was
Okay.
like, oh, come on over for dinner. We'll have dinner and then we'll have like a seance. It'll be
Dinner and a
fun.
seance. Yeah, dinner and a seance, everyone. We're ready.
And then they did that.
Gross.
Amanda, what are we
Mhm.
talking about next week?
Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, animated racism. Okay.
Honestly, it is just a little part. It's bad. It's still bad, but it
It's
really,
better than this topic.
yeah.
It's bad, but it's like really bad. They really fucking, from what I remember, they really doubled down on that one.
Yeah, it's not good. But thankfully it is like a smaller part of the film. So that does. I mean, I have watched this recently. So.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to watch it again at this rate.
Yep. Yeah, I am. So stay tuned for that.
All right, that's next week. Lady and the Tramp, join us.
Yep.
Is there anything else we would like to say? I'll take that as a no. All right. Let's take care of business then. As of recording, we are on YouTube and Spotify. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for a notification so you know when each and every episode is uploaded. If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to leave a rating and review and follow the show. If you would like to send us an email, you could ask us a question, you could give us recommendations for future show topics, you can just leave some general comments that you have about the show. You can send us an email over to
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled HEAR.
if you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, if you'd like to see some funny memes made by Hannah, images of the things that we discuss in the episodes, you can find all of that and more over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to see here pod.
And that is all the business to be taken care of. So, saying goodbye and good night. It's Frankie.
It's Hannah, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should apologize. I'm gonna go like watch videos of Punch the Monkey or something. This is.
I'm gonna go watch people beat up Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.